In this review, we're going to be reviewing the Vevor 3 Airbrush and TC 802 compressor. Now, this is designed to be a regular airbrush system, so normally it's going to be using a really light type of a paint. And this one, we're going to put it through its paces. We're going to go and run chalk paint through it, watered down just like as if we were going to put it into our normal HVLP system. So that ought to be actually pretty interesting to watch, and we're going to see how the performance of the system is when it's under that much load, and quite frankly, can it do it? So this is more of a performance review than anything else. We're not going to be sitting here making cool spray art, so if that's what you're here for, you'll have to find another video, I'm sorry. But if you are here to see how this thing can handle under a seriously heavy load, we're definitely going to be testing that. Furthermore, we're also going to be going over the accessories that come with it. So on that note, with all that stuff out there, don't forget to like, subscribe. Let's get to the review. This is going to be awesome. Let's do this. All right, so let's go over what actually comes in the kit. So first up is going to be the color wheel. Now the color wheel has a whole bunch of different colors and features on it that allow you to understand what kind of blending you're going to be doing when you're trying to mix paints together and stuff like that. It really kind of helps you out a little bit on trying to get all that stuff done. The next up is going to be the clean out brushes and the manual, and well, that's pretty self-explanatory. The third up is going to be the 3 airbrushes that it comes with. So it's going to come with those. One of the airbrushes here, as you can see, the black one, comes with a couple of little extra vials in that. We're going to get into what that does a little bit later, but definitely pretty cool. The other 2 are just primarily for finer and less finer kinds of detail. The next part on here that we have is going to be the airbrush holder, and that'll hold up to 2 different airbrushes in it, which is really convenient. And the last one is going to be, what you're seeing right now on screen, is going to be the hose that you're going to go and connect the different airbrushes together with. And last but not least, the compressor. And then here's some different shots of that. Now on here we have our air water separator that you're seeing right here at the edge. Then we have our pressure gauge here at the back. We also have the the outlet, I should say, for the air hose itself, and the power switch here on the back, as well as the handle at the top, which is probably pretty good because since it's a compressor, that's going to actually turn out to be pretty darn hot after it's sat there for a while, my guess would be. So we'll find out more about that as we go along, as we test this some more. All right, so some of the basics. So when you're attaching the hose, you're just going to attach it right onto here, which is basically your pressure regulator and also your air water separator is basically what's going on here. So we're just going to go ahead and just put that on there nice and tight. It doesn't have to be like super tight, but you want it pretty snug. You don't want it leaking or anything weird like that. And then we've already got this kind of squared up. And then for this, you'll notice I took this orange ring off that you saw earlier in the video. I'm just going to go and put this on here. And what this does is this lets you hold your paintbrushes on. So pretty simple. Let's get that on there. Again, doesn't have to be ultra tight or anything, but you know, you want to have it on there snug enough that it doesn't go anywhere. All right, cool. Let's set up the gun, or brush, I should say. Okay, let's do some painting. So first off, I'm just going to take our deal here. I'm just going to put in a little bit here because we're going to be switching up colors a lot during this. So hopefully that'll be enough. Try not to drop your lid while you're doing this. There we go. And we're just gonna make sure our switch is on. Okay, should be good to go. On over there? Okay.
Counter. Arizona tea. 2 tablespoons.
Just have to. So this airbrush, unlike the other two that are included, require a little bit more explanation, we'll just say. So this one's kind of like the other ones, except for it does have this little push button, and this one does not rock back and forth, it just sprays. And then you can do your adjustment down here for how you want that spray to come through. Mostly how much fluid you want to come through is based off from this right here. Now to connect this, all you have to do is just plug this in, and assuming you have paint in here, then that'll spray right through, and you just simply just go and you're pretty much good to go. It also comes with these two items here, which is a specialty hose just for this type, and this little adapter on here that will connect right here onto the pump. So just to screw the adapter on, screw this on, screw this to here, life is good. So pretty simple really. So we're gonna go ahead and do this on this board and then see how that looks. One side note, this one does come with I guess it's an aerosol can type of a thing that you can actually use for these. So it's kind of a secondary thing. I guess you peel off the top and you screw this on. So I've never personally seen one of these used, but seems like it's a pretty good idea. I talked to some other people who do airbrushing, and they said, yeah, these things are really, really neat, especially if you don't have a compressor. Obviously this is coming with a compressor, so this is kind of just more or less a backup, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, it's here, so there you go. So if you're into that spray can stuff, you're set up. So.
Good idea. Pull back up. That's the other thing. I know.
Okay, so let's take a look and see how ours came out. And as we can see here, we've got our A's here and our P's all have these little lines in them. This is actually from the template itself, so don't worry about that. That's not a problem with the sprayer or anything. As you can see here, it's got nice, clean, crisp lines. It actually has a nice little feel to it. We use chalk paint in those, which is a little heavy for any sort of an airbrush type of a deal, but it handled it like a champ. I mean, well, the result's here. So, I mean, you guys saw the video, and obviously we were spraying these, so now you kind of know how that looks. Let's take a look at one that was filled in. So, with just a little bit of paintbrush, we were able to get those nice and filled in, and as you can see, these ones look really, really nice on here. Kind of pop over to this one here. This is another white one, just so we can kind of get a quick look at that. I think the white looks a little bit sharper, so you can kind of see how those ones come together. As you can see, that's a really, really nice look there. Still have a little bit of finishing left on this board, so if you're noticing some small flaws, that's why. But overall, they came out very, very low amount of corrections required. Just overall very, very, very happy with how this turned out. So these sprayers are awesome. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and go over the final parts of the review and my final thoughts on it, and then you can choose from there. So let's get to it. Oh my goodness, wasn't that awesome? Those came out beautiful, don't you think? Definitely leave some comments down below. I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on that. But anyway, long story made short, they worked out perfectly. They were nice and light. They're a lot easier to use than a HVLP gun would be to go and do that exact same task. Trust me, I know, I've done it. So I can definitely tell you that it's hard to dial your HVLP in with low enough pressure to be able to pull that off and not wind up somehow ripping your template off your board or something like that, even with the neat little Pixie spray. But anyway, that being said, Pixie spray does actually a really great job. But that all being said, this definitely didn't try the template too much, unlike a HVLP where we definitely would have seen that. So in this neat little stress test we did here, we didn't really have any real major failure points. The black one did have a little bit of resistance on it after it had been used for a bit, but that was kind of to be expected. I, quite frankly, kind of expected all of them to fail, and really the black one came the closest to failure, but it's still sprayed. So technically speaking, that's a win. So ultimately, at the end of the day, the whole system, fantastic. If it can handle that, it can handle pretty much whatever you're going to throw at it. And I think that's really the kind of the important part to a review like this is, can it handle a normal daily use based off from what it does in a heavy use? And the answer was clearly absolutely. Definitely can do it. Definitely worked great. You should buy one. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to buy one. But if you want to, we'll leave some links down below just in case you want to go and grab one. Other than that, that's pretty much it. If you guys have questions or anything, definitely, like I said, leave them down here in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer any questions about this. This is definitely a unit we're going to be continuing to use here in the shop, especially for these more detailed projects. So that way we can, well, quite frankly, take advantage of that airbrush. I mean, that's a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie, that was a lot of fun. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon for all of our newest videos. And until next time, stay safe in the shop. Like, YouTube videos are so easy. Anybody can do a review. Yeah, okay. Just try to remember all the
TC802.
TC802. Okay.
Just remember TC800.
Jesus Christ. No, I'm like 50 miles away. There we go. Trying to get the woodwork therapy in the background. Trying to get me in the foreground. There we go.
Pull your pants up, slappy.
I've got freedom. Okay.
Start your review. Do you remember what it is?
TC802. Okay. There we go.